Ashkeepers Legacy is a real tabletop RPG show for adults who choose to never grow up. But that does mean our shenanigans may not be appropriate for younger viewers and listeners. From colorful words to emotional highs and lows to fart and phallic jokes, we will hit it all. So please enjoy responsibly, like coffee or beer or buying dice. Welcome to the show.
You did. Greetings, friends and fellow gamers. Welcome back to Trench and Vivian. This is episode 17 of our D&D campaign, Ashkeepers Legacy. Please, if you don't mind, to like this video, subscribe, share with a friend or two. We greatly appreciate your support, and love to share our weekly D&D adventures and shenanigans for you all to enjoy. So, thanks again. That honestly concludes all of our announcements. So we're going to recap the events of last session and then get right into it. So, last time on Ashkeepers Legacy, our heroes underwent a daring training exercise on a frozen lake, facing off with Trench, a fellow Ashkeeper equipped with both blood and pact magic. You were tasked by your new Lady Commander Sylvanna, Vivian's grandmother, to retrieve a wooden amulet from Trench's neck without falling into the frigid winter waters of the lake. You all rushed across carefully, closing the distance over the slippery and difficult terrain, eventually flanking Trench through creative uses of your abilities to create distractions and swift movement. You eliminated Trench's illusionary copies with the use of mirror image. That was it, the spell mirror image. Some of you took a polar plunge, eliminated from the training exercise, but it was Vivian who closed the distance and with some use of heroic inspiration, pulled the amulet from around Trench's neck, ending the exercise. Those of you risking hypothermia were pulled from the water, and all of you were given rest for the rest of the day to warm yourselves, to feast, recover, and prepare for another night's watch. Your new commander was impressed and laid waste to any possible doubt she had about your current station in the guild. So, you all feel rather pleased with yourselves and your performance. So, we resume inside of the Fate's End Tavern, each of you seated by the warm, burning hearth in now dry clothes. Warm beverages are brought over to each of you, and you sit feeling rather accomplished. So, that's where we pick up.
Clothes have emblems.
Emblems?
Like these.
Oh, yeah!
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Merch not yet available.
No, not yet.
Not yet available.
We get more subscribers.
Yeah.
Those numbers up. And we'll
If you want to buy Ashkeepers merch, let us know. Please.
We'll make it happen.
We will. Yes.
we have our best.
Yes.
We know a guy.
Yep, y'all are just sitting by the fire together. You have enough to accomplish. You have like a few hours, so you'll definitely get the benefits of a short rest before taking the night's watch.
Did we decide the order of who's on watch?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope. Previously, you did not. You
Cool.
could request. You could speak with your new commander.
With our Lord Commander.
Your Lady Commander.
Lady Commander.
Yes.
Oh.
We're inside the tower.
Inside the tower.
Fires are burning.
Grandma.
Okay, you go over to her. Or do you, I'd say you have to go find her because she's currently not at the tavern.
Never mind.
You think she's probably headed back to her lodge back home, or she may be in the barracks or just walking around the grove, or she took her leave after you all were kind of escorted back to the tavern and made sure y'all were warm and safe. But you can go hunt her down.
Nah.
Okay.
Too damn cold.
Yeah, you see there's not a lot of people in the tavern, actually. It's honestly just Sam, it seems like, cleaning up some tables from people who had left, and your buddy who was working the counter last time. I'm trying to remember names. Who was it? Was it Wade? Who was it? That sounds right. Nope, it was not Wade. I lied.
A lying liar who lies.
A lying liar.
Wade walks in. He's a miner who works at the stone quarry. It was Mace. Mace was the one who was pouring drinks for y'all, and that was the half elf who also runs the general goods store. So yeah.
We'll have our tattoos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fresh new tattoos.
Come over and I sit with the group with an ale in my hand. Do we know who's on first watch?
I don't think that was said.
Is there a list? Godlike never had a list. He just told us.
This should be. I think Grandma's slacking a little.
I vote that Vivian goes gets the list.
I vote no.
Just for that, I also vote that you go get the list.
Why?
It's your grandma.
You have an inn.
Yeah, like that's ever done me any good.
You obviously have not met her grandma.
Huh?
No, I've met her grandma. I'm afraid of
this
her grandma.
one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think maybe in passing, like a few times, but no.
Yeah.
You want one of us to go with you?
Yeah. I'm not afraid of her. I just.
Insight
That-
check.
Okay.
I'm not afraid
So
of her.
roll a
Excuse me.
charisma, persuasion, or deception. Don't say, and then
Okay.
it's contested against the insight checks.
First, well, 6. Yeah.
I rolled a 17.
18.
You rolled it. Well, I have.
Yeah.
I didn't even add my
Inspiration, no.
I mean, you can.
I
if you
can,
want
I
to.
won't. I'm saving those.
Yeah,
guys.
worth it for us.
I rolled a 20. Dirty 20.
Total.
Total.
Wow, nice.
It was a 17.
What did you get, Tom?
18.
18. Yeah.
15.
So you could explain kind of just like what is perceived by your companions after saying that. Like they don't grasp at anything more than just what Vivian's trying to convey, be it genuine or not.
It's not even that I'm scared. I am tired of feeling less than or not enough. Like you heard her when we got there. She doubted.
And we proved her wrong.
Yeah, but
Well, I also think that it's kind of her job now.
I finished my ale. I put it on the table. I'll go get the list.
yeah.
Do you need a buddy?
No. I'll go.
Thanks.
Then I get up and I will be back. And I leave the tavern. Go look for Lady Commander.
Okay. Go ahead and make a, let's see, this can be a survival or perception check. Survival or perception. It is snowing out, so you can kind of like track people's footfalls through the snow. Kind of like help hone in on certain people who are going about the grove. It's not super busy.
That's a 19.
19. Yeah, you track outside and eventually you walk out of the tavern, look around, you see the pyres covered in snow and the trees all around the Fate's End Tavern. You look like beyond the inner walls and you see like people walking the walls around and just the patrols, everyone's bundled up with certain, weaponry, and you look past one of the gates and you actually spot her heading towards I'm trying to think map orientation wise. So she's heading towards the training grounds.
Cool.
Yeah, training grounds in the infirmary. Yep, where the barracks are also located. So she's just kind of heading to, from your perspective, because you're facing south, she's heading
West.
east.
East.
Because it's upside down. Yes.
East.
I will, yes. Just take off in like a light jog toward her. Until once I'm close enough. I'll call out, Lady Commander, so that she can hear me.
Yeah, you trudge through the snow, and eventually you actually see that she's standing in the courtyard, and you notice in the courtyard there is a whole nother group that's being trained right now, and she's standing there bundled up, and you notice that this group are familiar faces, others who are in the guard, but are currently fending themselves off from fungal zombies. Like, they're just lunging at this group, and this group seems to not be trying to eliminate them, but more like push them off, and they seem hyper aggressive. And you see standing there what was once a rather stout myconid. You see this tall, looming, large, mushroom-capped, humanoid plant creature that's just looming, maybe a good 7 feet tall, with a large staff of like fungal spores and like mushroom caps coming up and out of this like broken rooted staff that's like kind of goes up beyond it. And there's just this, it looks like there's just powdered sugar in the air around this giant entity. Like, it's just kind of like its own little miniature snowfall around it. But you can see the spores kind of drifting through the air, and like you can see the visual links between the spore zombies and it, as you see the Lady Commander just standing there with her arms crossed, and she's just shouting out. She's bouncing between a few languages. She's bouncing between Sylvan, she's bouncing between Common, she's bouncing between Elvish. She's even throwing some Primordial in there, and you see that the entities that are the other humanoids, like that are in the guard, are just getting their asses kicked by these things. Like, these things are just lunging at them, like trying to pull them apart, and they're like screaming, and a buddy comes over and knocks one over, kind of like helps them up, and then another one's latching onto the back of them and pulling them down, and like, it's not like to the death, but it's a high intensity fight, you could tell. And you could tell they're more so testing the thralls than the actual warriors. Like, the warriors are the ones that are more the, I guess, target dummies for this exercise. But running over, you see she just doesn't even break eye contact from what's going on, because she's like shouting out, kind of like coaching them, or like, it seems like she's just trying to help, you know, call things out and like help them hold their ground. And she just kind of like nods at your recognition as you run up behind with your footfalls in the snow. She's like, "Yes, what can I help you with?"
I nod. I'm like in respect, and then like don't make eye contact also, because I am afraid of the grandmother. We were just wondering who's on watch first, and if there might be a list, Lady Commander.
She like kind of like nods. She's like, "Oh yes, the list. Check in the barracks.
Okay.
It will always be posted there."
I will go do that. Thank you. And then I like awkwardly bow again.
Oh, he's rolling.
As you like bow, she turns her head to like focus on you away from like what's going on, and like it's distracting for you in this conversation, because it's like the screeching of these creatures, like, and there's these people like, and they're like screaming like, "Get off!" And like there's just this whole like Looney Tunes cloud of snow and dirt and just body parts flying. Like, people are just like fighting off these things, and like, you know, sometimes they take a hit and like they fall apart, but then you see like mycelia and like roots will kind of like go and like pick up an arm that fell off of one of the corpses or something, and kind of reconstruct itself and then run back into battle. But she turns to face you and she's like, "Am I wrong that I sense some uneasiness with you, Adora?
No.
Is everything all right?"
Yes, everything is quite all right. I just have the utmost respect for you and your family, and would like all my impressions to be good.
Have you been drinking?
Yes.
Understood.
Yep.
Dismissed.
Roger that. Like, I spin on my heel and just, take off towards the barracks.
And she turns, focusing her attention back in, just yelling, like, stand fast! Get your feet under you! And, like, somebody just topples and gets fucking... As these things are, like, leaping out of the snowbounds and just... It's quite an imposing display, because you remember encountering these in the undergrowth, like, that were just kind of stalking around in the caverns, but these ones seem a little bit more different. They're... How to explain it? They just seem way more agile. They seem way more reactive, and there's just something about them that seems more hyper-aggressive than, like, the slow-moving, lumbering, like, more zombie, more traditional zombie, like, you know, undead thrall. They're pretty slow-moving and pretty just gaunt and freaky, but these things
World War Z zombies.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's like World War Z zombies and, like, the clickers from Last of Us.
God.
That
That is a clicker.
That's a fun conversation we should have later. It's a sub-variant of a zombie from the game/show Last of Us. And they have, like, they can't see, so they click to make noise and scare. Exactly. Yeah, so they essentially have, like, blind sight, because they can use their hearing to see, because they, like, the infection has, like, ruined their face. Yeah, they're pretty spooky.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah!
That's just like with zombies shiitake mix, by the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm right in the fact that, like, my parents absolutely hate shiitake. They're just like,
He's
nope.
a nice little guy. He's a little
He's a
mushroom
scary
guy.
little guy. I'm pretty sure that, like, Yolanda went nope the first time she's, like, met one of those things.
Yeah.
Scary little guy.
That's why they have to stay in the undergrowth, because everyone voted and was like, the guild made a decision, was like, you can use these as a defense, but, like, they're staying under there until they're needed, and then they can pop up when things pop
Out of
off.
sight, out of mind.
No, yeah, out of
We
sight,
get to
out of
sleep at
mind.
night. Is exactly
Yeah.
what that was.
Yeah. And it's a good deterrent for people who are trying to sneak in through the undergrowth, and, like, you saw with the whole kobold situation that you
Alright,
encountered. So, yeah.
Too soon. Too soon.
So you were heading to the barracks?
Yes.
So you run into the barracks from the training grounds, and entering in, you see a few people coming and going, you know, like trading out posts and everything, and then you walk over to a wall and you see a large parchment, like a bulletin. It has, like, the schedules for, like, pretty much the coming weeks, and you kind of look and see recently etched in a roster. And who would like to roll a d4 for me?
Let David.
Do it.
2. Okay, so you see for the first half of tonight's watch, it is Armand, and then who else would like to roll?
I'll
A
do it.
d4?
I mean, I'm already on it, so.
Sure. Yeah, I'll see who you're on watch with.
To myself.
Reroll.
Myself. 1.
Okay, so it's you and Vivian,
Okay.
and then the second watch is Tom and Adora.
I dip my fingers into my bag of chalk, and I, like, write out, like, a code on my hand of, like, who's on watch with who when.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, I got it. Run back to the...
Okay. Yeah, you come running back in, and the wind's blowing pretty hard, and the snow's coming down rather fiercely. You figure it's probably going to be a very cold night.
I go to check my hand, and all the chalk's blown off because of the wind. And I go,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Uh-huh.
And I try and remember the list. And that Armand and Vivian are on watch together.
Okay.
So you two, I think, are first. And then I think it's us.
Cool.
I mean, we've done it before. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are
And
you
then
sure?
Yep.
Are you sure? I like give her a wink.
You do try to talk
Yeah.
again to
A
remember.
wink with my like.
I'm like,
What
I can't.
would be like my normal winking eye, but now it's like
A
gone,
scar?
so it's just like a big hole. But
It's like
Yeah,
That
a
is.
cavity.
but like that's unsettling. I'm going to get an ale, and then I'm going to try and sober up before watch because I'm pretty sure your grandmother
Why are you
thinks I'm
getting
drunk.
ale?
Because I need it to sober up.
Wait, my grandmother knows you're drunk?
I said I'm pretty sure she thinks I am. She didn't ask if I was drunk. She just asked if I had been drinking, and I didn't want to.
but you need ale to sober up.
I don't make rules.
As the resident like master of drinking here, you need water.
All right, fine. I'll go get the water. And then I like go to the bar to get the water.
See, Mace is happy to oblige. Gets you a couple of fresh water.
She
With
makes
ice if
everyone
you
feel inferior.
Oh, you don't think that Adora is just scared of her because of other reasons?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
No!
No.
We're just friends.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. So.
Very, very close friend.
You feel the hilt of Glory Chaser just kind of wobble a little bit in the sheath.
Careful.
Yes.
I just want to know what you're talking about.
Telepathically. I'm teasing Vivian because it's very obvious that Adora still has feelings for her, but Vivian's in denial.
That's all you get. Just a gasp, elongated gasp.
I'll keep you posted. We're doing watch tonight, so I'm gonna get a lot more chisme.
Sounds like a plan. All right. So,
Yes?
yeah, you were just defending yourself from these accusations, and then Armand just looks down, like holding the sword,
What are you
unsheaths it
doing?
slightly, sheaths it again.
Talking stick to his sword.
Nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You don't got room to talk, girl.
Whoa.
Anyone else kind of nervous about this watch?
Let's see, it's freezing cold outside. I have morning watch. I am much a morning person on good days.
Yeah.
At least you get to sleep.
I don't like staying up that late though.
You still get to sleep.
I don't know, I feel like something.
Wanna trade?
Can we?
No.
I don't know. If Grandma made the schedule, she's pretty tough.
Have
you come back yet?
No, I'm still getting one.
I don't want to trade. I don't want to wake up early. I'd much rather stay up later than wake up early.
Shit.
I think just after last watch, when a lot of stuff happened, and
Well, after everything,
yeah,
that's gonna happen.
so I don't know. I just,
So we're prepared for the proverbial snowball to start rolling downhill.
I better eat.
That's what, yeah.
Come already dig into a huge. It's such a huge
I've
bread of
just
you.
been eating this entire
Yep.
time.
What is that?
Turkey lit well. Last week, I think.
You see Sam's like already plating up more food, and you smell all of the scents of everything that he's cooking in the back.
Do you have anything chocolate in there?
You see him poke his head out from the back. He's like, "Oh, actually reminds me, I'm kind of have my hands full right now. Chocolate, sweets. If you don't mind going and picking, I have a shipment. Well, I have an order for pickup next door at the bakery. If you can stop by and grab that for me,
Yeah.
perhaps we could work something out."
Sounds good, Sam. Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Here
Hey,
goes
Sam,
back.
really
Huh?
quick.
Yeah.
Have you seen my ma anywhere?
He's like, nope, sorry. I've been here all day.
Have you not told
And
her
all night.
about...
No. You kind of snuck in and out before she could see.
One, kind of proud of you. Two, don't know if I should stay within the grove far away to watch the fireworks, or just watch the popcorn nearby.
I mean, the popcorn probably would be better. It's gonna be a show.
Oh, it's gonna be a show no matter what. I just don't want to get accidentally struck by lightning.
I can't help you there.
The flashes of metal and crushing horns.
Yeah, you're kind of a lightning rod as it is, so it's your own fault.
Hey.
That's just gonna be a very interesting conversation I would like to avoid as long as possible.
You should know, rip the band-aid off. As one guy with a magical mother to another, rip the band-aid off. It'll cause you less pain in the long run.
She's not even a scary one, but she's still scary. Are you still getting water?
I'm awkwardly sitting at the bar just watching you guys from like 10 feet. With my water.
What are you doing?
Get your beefy behind back over here.
You guys just looked so serious in conversation, I didn't think it was a good time to return.
We're basically just talking about how my mom's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah, that's a scary conversation.
At least your mom probably won't do anything.
Has she done that before?
Once.
I come and I sit back down. I don't want to talk about scary moments.
No.
Drink my water.
Eddie's gone to go get pastries.
Dipped out of conversations with the boys.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. So you have to walk out of the tavern, and then you would take a right, heading out the gate, and walking out into like the trades ward or a section of the grove, and you walk over to the Pastry Paradise, which is a locally owned bakery owned by a lovely dwarven couple who you're actually friends, acquaintance, kind of hangs out in the general friend group of the grove. But Hugo is a friend of some of you or all of you, who is kind of like a young dwarf. He's very rebellious. He likes to hang out with in the tavern a lot. His parents are bakers, but he's into brewing. And he's kind of like doing it the best he can without their knowledge. So you all know he's been sneaking around and like brewing stuff and getting people to like try out his concoctions and like give feedback on like how good they were, what he needs to work on, and kind of like his unofficial side hustle. But his father is Tanner, and they are of the Runekeeper clan, and they come from Baldur's Gate. So they relocated here, opened up the bakery, and the bakery itself also doubles as a sweet shop. So they also do chocolates and candies and taffies and all manner of, pretty much if it's sweet, they can make it. So where Sam, being the cook and being, rather gourmet with a lot of his dishes and more exquisite with what he makes, the Runekeepers are, everything sweet, bread, donuts, baked goods, cookies, and candies and whatnot. So even approaching the establishment, you can see the smoke kind of lofting off out of the chimney stalks of the actual building, and it's already a sweet scent on the air before you even get to the door. You open up the door, and you can just smell like the fresh, hot, melted chocolate and the like sweet powdered sugar and like the donuts that are all on display and like the fresh bread that's stacked on shelves. And you see Tanner, who's inside, who is a clean-shaven dwarf, kind of slick back hair, doesn't have any scars or anything, but he does have a nose ring And he's like walking around and just like tending to everything, and he has like a little footstool to walk up and like stock the higher shelves, and he's updating some price markings on like the wood, replacing pieces of parchment. He's like walking back down, and it's kind of just like an open shop, you know? And you just kind of like walk around and see all the different cuisines and everything, but you do see he has a few different stacked boxes, and it has like their logo on it, and it's like a wax sealed emblem on top of this like box that's like wrapped and tied with like a very thin like string. But yeah, he like sees you come in and like, oh, I'll be with you in a moment, and kind of shuffles over and then finally moves back behind the counter again and kind of like steps up onto like a higher stool to kind of like talk to you face to face and puts his hands on the desk. He's like, welcome in. What can I help you with?
Oh, no rush. Sam had an order that needed to be picked up.
Oh, yes.
I'm here to do that.
Oh,
So.
all right. He goes over and like goes and he gets the box that was like stacked on the bottom, carefully moving the other two off, and kind of goes and he's like slides it over.
What's that one?
What's what one?
The other box.
Oh, these are just orders that I'm gonna have my have you seen Hugo recently? He's supposed to be making deliveries.
Oh, no.
Oh, no worries then. Well, these are just deliveries local. This one's going to Salazar House. This one's going to I think this one's going to the Extravagant Emporium. And yeah, those are the two that I have right here, and I'm working on some others. But
if Hugo's not here, do you need some help? I have a little time before I have to go take watch. I can help deliver some if you want.
Well, that's kind of you to offer. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. Yeah.
What would I be nosy about? What'd they order? 30, 20, 17 plus 4?
21.
21!
Nice, 21. Nice.
Man, my math is off.
So,
We're so good at math.
numbers.
I love math.
Looks back at you, is like, oh, I appreciate it. And if you're out and about, can you yell at Hugo for me and send him back my way? I've seen him for the last maybe hour or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'll be willing to. Are you interested in some spare coin, or maybe paid in sweets?
I mean, I'll always take sweets. But this was just cause.
Just cause what?
Because I wanted to help.
Okay. He smiles. And you smell like kind of something burning coming out of the back. And you smell
kitchen,
that like
kitchen.
He's like, oh right. He like hobbles down. He's like, here are the boxes. Here's the locations on the parchment. And he's like, oh, and he pulls out. You could tell that these have been weathered down quite a bit and have seen a lot of use, but they're like written out coupons that he like stacks on each box and slides one under the wrapping for each one, and then he hands another one out to you. He's like, oh, and grab one or two of anything from the case, and he like runs into the back, and you just hear him start cursing in Dwarvish as soon as he gets in the back, and he's just Tanner's a pretty chill guy, but it's kind of a scary mad. Like when he starts like cursing and it reverberates in the space, you're like, okay, time to go.
Right.
Yeah.
I think because of the scary booming voice, she even forgets to grab something extra.
Okay.
And just like takes off to the first house.
Vivian Cash. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, and heads to the Salazar house.
Okay.
Whatever else is on the list.
Yeah, the Salazar house, let me look really quick. One's going to Shay at the Extravagant Emporium.
Which is probably closest.
Yeah, that one's like really close. It's like really walking distance outside. It's just down the street.
Cool.
At 17. Right, Pastry Paradise.
Yeah.
Salazar's like 33?
Yep.
Salazar's what?
33?
33. All the way over.
I don't have it on like the map and the key and stuff, but like I imagine each house like has an address and there's like street names. I just didn't
No,
get that
that's
far with it.
fine. Super chill.
But
What's the extravagant and important?
Extravagant Emporium's number 9. Let's see. And then the last one's going to the Toxic Cauldron, which is for Pip, who's the alchemist.
Okay, cool.
That is.
That's number 6.
So it was.
So a lot of them are really nearby. The one that's kind of the furthest is the Salazar house.
Boom.
Alright, yeah, I'll
Which is
head there
33.
last.
Okay.
She makes the drop off in the back to Sam first and just like tell the rest tell Armand that I'll meet him at the gate for watch if you see him. I'm gonna deliver the rest of these.
Sam's like, okay, thanks. And
Thank
like
you.
takes the box and like takes it inside and sets it on the counter and like closes the door and the wind. Like he didn't slam it, but like the gust of the wind and like somebody else who was walking in or out of the tavern creates that gust that slams that door. And you run off to do your deliveries. Okay, shooting back to the rest of y'all inside of the tavern. What are you doing in the meantime?
Is Sam like coming back out with like the pastries?
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't have the pastries, but he's bringing out more food. I assume mainly for Tom, unless anyone else orders any more food. You kind of just have time to rest and eat. Tim's like, yes, hi.
Did Vivian come back with the pastries?
Vivian coming back with it. Oh, yes, right. Vivian said she'd meet you. Oh, my memory. Was going to meet you at the gate
Okay.
for watch.
Yes.
Is making deliveries.
Okay.
Helped me with the delivery and is making more, I guess. So,
Good for her. Can I have a donut?
oh yes, you certainly can. And he like runs into the back and like, because I was like, oh, what flavor?
Do you have lemon?
I could check.
Yeah. Or just anything that's not chocolate.
Okay. He like runs back and wait a while and comes back and presents you with this donut. It's kind of, I imagine it's very geometric, like I imagine dwarven architecture, but in like a baked good. So it's like cool, like geometric design. I imagine it's like a hexagon or something instead of like a circular round. And it's like layered, and you can see that even the frosting on it is like fit within like a press or a stamp almost. That kind of like flattened the donut. And then it seemed to have like some kind of like lemon lime kind of like almost sour filling in the middle, but still super sweet, and has like a nice powdered sugar kind of like coating on top, and it kind of has that like sweet sour duality to it, and it's really good.
Yeah, I just shoved the entire thing.
Just, inhale.
Ooh. You want to eat those fast. If it doesn't dry out, it turn into actual carbs.
You know what? Just continue.
I want to hear no judgment on my eating habits.
What's this plate number 3?
I just like sip my water.
I have a good donut.
I bet.
What do you want?
I'm good.
Might help with the ale issue.
This is water. I'm fine.
And how much have you eaten today?
Enough.
You sure?
Rise her plate.
And then I start eating it.
That's what I thought. You've got these. These require fuel.
Can I get another donut?
So you like call that out. And I'm like, oh yeah, well,
Just bring the box.
oh, okay. He like goes out and goes in the back and then returns, and he comes out and sets the box down, and there's an assortment.
I just keep just taking one and just eating them like,
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness.
I'm a growing boy!
Okay.
That was
Armand just inhaling donuts.
Tubby looks over and grabs one of the chocolate ones.
Yeah, it's
you can
it's
have that.
good.
It's
That's
fine.
why I grabbed it.
Yeah, they're amazing. Chocolate, maple bars, jelly filled, all
It
powdered
just like
sugar.
goes into the queue of things that I'm eating.
Yeah, cinnamon. There's like a hybrid cinnamon roll-esque like donut. All manner of fun things in there. Yeah. But yeah. Y'all, you're just chilling and munching on donuts. So cutting back to deliveries.
So I like head into Shay, or like where Shay's at the Emporium.
Yeah, you walk into the magic shop and like see all the items and everything kind of stocked up, and you see Shay's on the inside and is just arranging things, and you see what looks like a whole shelf was toppled, and there's like broken glass everywhere, and there's a bunch of potion mixture that's just slick. It looks like dish soap that's like all over the floor, sudsing and like creating iridescent bubbles and like having some kind of like, you know, archaic alchemical reaction to this mix. And you see she has a mop, and you know her hair's currently almost like very, very short, black, dark black, face kind of pale true changeling form, and she's just kind of busy trying to clean up this mess. And you see up perched in the corner the iridescent kind of like fairy dust that's dripping down through the air, and Barge, the fairy dragon, is just cackling up in the corner like roost of the shop, and kind of like notices you enter, and then the wings kind of flutter, and then you watch as the dust kicks up, and then it turns invisible. Which, you know, Barge, being innately magical as a fairy dragon, kind of has the ability to do some things like that.
Yeah.
Shay just like, I'll be with you in just a moment. It's like,
are you okay?
Oh yeah, it was fine. It was just it was an accident.
Is this? Ugh. This looks like it's gonna melt something.
Like holds up the broom or the mop, and the mop is like, it's like sizzling. It's not acidic, but like there's something happening. Shay's like, yeah, no. If it gets any worse, I'm gonna go grab Pip and like have him help out with this. I just got the shipment in from him, and this happened.
I have to deliver some pastries to him too. I just came to drop yours off. You want me to just send him here?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, this is fine. This is fine. Donuts. Yes, yum. And like walks over. And as you like, before you can exchange the box, you see one of the strings on the box just begins to like lift up out of your hands and just drift away as you hear the of Barge carrying the box of donuts through the air. So it just looks like it's floating away, and it like floats up into that area. Shay's like, Barge! And like screams at it. You just hear the little like the cackle, the like what is that character? That like Looney Tunes character cackle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or I'm thinking Duck Hunt Dog. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Duck Hunt Dog cackle. Like that's kind of like the little fairy dragon equivalent. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave you to this. Good luck with your donuts and mess. Bye.
Bye. He's just like goes and exchanges the mop and like sets the old mop down, and you watch as the mop animates and like starts walking away out the door. It just starts going into the snow and just like trying to like swim and spray its head like out, like it limbs like animated legs. And then like you see Shay comes out and like looks and like sees the mop's gone and looks very confused, and you just see like bits of powdered donut flakes falling from the rafters on like a brand new suit of armor and an armor stand in the shop. And you leave that chaos and head back out, and you're now heading to the Toxic Cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, short walk across the way. Entering into that space, you see Pip inside. Kind of has that bright poison dart frog coloration to the skin. A Grum, a frog folk, who's like perched up on a stool and has like a large magnifying like lens and is looking at a very intricate like bottles attached to bottles and like a funnel and like very alchemical supplies in front of him. And you see he's like currently very intricately seems to be dripping something into a larger vial, like a potion vial. And you walk in and you just don't move, please. Don't breathe, don't blink, just stay there. And like intricately is like, going to squeeze out a single drop from like this tiny itty bitty thing. Do me a favor. Make a, what would this be? I guess a Constitution saving throw?
Okay.
Just to maintain
God, I hope
complete
she's-
stillness.
I hope she sneezes. Oh, it's just a
Nat
plus
one,
5.
nat one.
You.
Let her sneeze.
It's 17.
17. So yeah, you manage to wait, and Pip drops it in, and you watch as there's like this poof of like a little mushroom cloud that comes out of the vial, and goes and gets a cork and like corks it, and is wearing these long gloves to cover the hands, and kind of like looks towards you and like kind of does like the one-eye frog blink on each side, and then looks at you as like, "Hi, what can I help you with?"
I've got these deliveries for you. I guess I'm just trying to help them out.
Donuts. Yes. Gimme. You see the large kind of like frog hand like grab it with the gloves and like goes and sets it down, like opens it and smells it. It's like, oh, I've been waiting for these for a while. What happened to Hugo?
I don't know. I guess he's busy. I was picking up some, so I just had to help out. But
Oh, if you see him, tell him I want what I loaned him back.
what'd you loan?
I loaned him some spare empty vials and bottles and things that he said that he needed to use for some kind of project.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hopefully I can find him.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks again. Oh, he goes and carefully. He goes, takes the glove off, puts on a different glove that's like clean and disinfected, and then walks over and opens it and offers you a pick from the assortment. Like, take one for the road.
No, I'm okay.
Okay. And he like closes it, and you see him kind of like. That happens a lot with him. So being a grung, and because grung secrete poisonous, I forget what it's called, but like the frog mucus, yeah, like that's why he's always gloved up and like keeps his distance, and he just shuts the box. He's like, oh, it's all right.
I'm in training right now, and they're pretty strict.
Can't eat donuts in training?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a shame.
We're on a pretty strict diet.
As Armand.
you see like the frog eyes squint. Go ahead and make a charisma check.
Charisma check or
So this would be deception,
Okay,
or
go.
I'm pretty sure this is deception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely lying.
I just didn't want to
Say,
make
I
him
don't
feel
think
like
I
shit.
ever remember saying
No.
we're on a
I didn't
strict
want him to
diet.
feel like shit.
Yeah.
It's a 6.
6.
So now he knows you're lying.
He just kind of like squints his eyes, and then you see him just kind of shrugging. He's like, "Okay, stay warm." And just kind
Thank
of
you.
waves.
Enjoy the donuts.
You see, he kind of like opens the box, and tongue just like gets a donut, and then he closes the lid and like sets it aside, and then you see he goes back and takes the vial and like shakes it up, and then goes and sits it in like a spinner and like spins it, and there's like a ton of other vials of like different various sizes and colors and things spinning in it. And yeah, you take your leave, and you're back on the road.
They're small, they're colorful, they're adorable. No.
Yeah. And then your last stop was
Salazar.
House. Yes. Salazar. She's not evil.
all afraid of
You gave her an evil theme?
It's the death march from Star Wars.
I know. She's not Darth Vader.
Right now, for them, my Roby.
Darth Mother.
Okay. So yeah, you head into
Darth Ma.
T-shirt.
You head to the Salazar house, which is kind of like the end of the cul-de-sac in the residential area of the grove, where all the other houses are.
Cool.
Kind of the largest on the end of the block. You approach and you see that it's covered in snow, with the exception of what look like the garden beds and garden areas surrounding it seem to be clear and actually lush and growing.
Are they dicks?
Make a perception check.
The dick garden made a resurgence.
Well,
As it survived the winter is what this roll
there definitely is going to be some shrinkage in there.
A 4. You unfortunately do not make out any flaccid
Phallic.
shrubberies. or valid
There's
properties.
some shrinkage.
Send it back into the earth.
No, yep. Yeah, you approach.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why is this place so big?
Yeah, you knock and there's just like that resounding kind of like echo from within. And you eventually hear footsteps approaching the door. And as the door opens, you see two halflings, I believe, come running out and instantly go start playing in the snow. And you see Yolanda standing there and is holding a younger one in the arms, and you see movement behind of others. It's a full house. But Yolanda just kind of stares at you while kind of like holding a young one. It's just like, hi, what's going on? Is everything all right?
All is good. You delivered, or you ordered donuts, and I am just delivering.
Oh, thank you. You can come in. Set them on the counter.
Okay, yeah.
She see like the youngest one she's holding is like half asleep, half awake, and it's like fighting the urge to like fall asleep. And the two halflings that are outside instantly are going in a snowball fight and like picking up the clumps of snow. They're just hooking them at each other. And you see like their hands are instantly kind of turning red because they're not wearing like gloves or like winter clothes at all. They just like literally jumped outside. They're barefoot. They're just like, they're like throwing snow at each other. And coming inside, you see Mercy, and she's sitting inside and eating, and you kind of smell the food. And you see Regina. She's currently coming in and out of the kitchen, kind of like fitting the table with stuff. And Yolanda just kind of is like, "Oh, right there will be perfect." Like kind of gestures to the table, and you set the package down. And then you see she kind of yells, she's like, "Kids, sweets!" And her voice booms out, and you see instantly flocking from every entryway and doorway, just coming to the table, going to Tara. She's like, "Ah!" and like yells out, like, "Did you wash your hands?" And like you see, they all kind of stop. And they're like, they all kind of like shove each other and like run back and like darting down the hallway. You like hear the water being poured out, and like as they like fight over the sink, and you see like one of them like cheats, like goes in the kitchen. And you see like Regina was like cleaning dishes but stops. One of them's like is like cleaning their hands in the kitchen, like runs back to go get the first pick of the donut. But Yolanda's like, "Oh, thank you," and like goes and it's like, I'm sorry, I can't remember. Do I owe payment for this, or did I pay this already?
I'm pretty sure it's already paid for.
Okay, all right. Well,
it wasn't mentioned.
She gives you 2 gold anyway.
Oh shit! Should do this more.
Yeah, and she's like, "Thank Tanner again for the order. It was very last minute and kind of help distract most in the household and be nice."
Yeah.
You see, it gets eerily quiet. It's like everyone is now seated and they're all eating donuts. And you see, like, Regina's like, "Sweets before the food I just cooked for you all." And you see they all just kind of nod with crumbs falling off their face. Like, just, yep.
It's a pretty full house here. Yeah, more power to you.
Yeah. How's training going?
Well, I think, yeah. It's not bad.
Are you all holding up all right with Podlack leaving?
It's
kind of came to a shock to us all as well.
It's a little awkward it being Grandma Gesundheit.
You see Buckler, who has like crumbs on his snout, is just sneezing into the carpet.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock to see it was my grandma as the new Lord Commander, and I guess not anyone else, but...
It was a difficult decision to make, and we put it to a vote, and we thought she was most suited to take up the role, even in a temporary position.
My parents too? My parents too?
What about your parents?
Did they vote for her as well?
Oh no, they weren't present for the council meeting to vote. We haven't heard from them since... It's been some time. At least the last I heard of them, there was a war going on in Theros that Cassandra was helming, and I think your father is trying to work on a peace treaty, something involving the Cetesian Legion or Kingdom. I'm not super... It was a long time ago when we went to Theros. Can't remember. all the places and things, but it seems like they're very busy. I hope they come visit soon.
Like that too.
Have they talked to you at all?
I talk to my brother all the time though. Well,
Oh, how's he?
he's doing good. He's studying dragons over at Strixhaven and he's happy. So
Good. Well, hopefully we can get the old band back together soon enough.
Yeah.
Well, if you need anything, don't hesitate. Okay.
thank you.
Buckler's begging. He's just like sitting next to you begging for something off of the table for any scraps. And you see like one of the kids is like trying to feed him. And you see Regina just like smacks with her hand. It's like, no! Don't feed the dog! Yeah.
Bad gas.
Yeah. And you see like, it's like, yes, we apparently let in all strays in this house, and just looks at the kids and like gives the kids like this look, and you see like the two halflings just like, eh. They just kind of like keep eating, like wipe the crumbs off of their face, but then keep munching down. Like, we like the dog, okay? It's cute. And you see Yolana's like, it's not our dog. It's too cute. But thank you nonetheless. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. Bye.
Bye. Then just leaves you to see you out, or you're welcome to stay.
No.
You're not like kind of sent on your way.
Have I like seen Hugo? Any signs of him at all on my travels?
No?
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it about time to go to gate, or do I have time?
I think you have a bit of time if you wanted to look into that.
Yeah, I head back to the tavern to let the
Okay.
others kind of know.
Okay, so you're heading back to the tavern.
To let them
Meanwhile, back at the tavern,
We're just eating.
eating. I'd say you've eaten your fill at this
I
point.
think I'm on like my 7th or 8th donut.
I'm just laying on the floor of the tavern like I ate too much food. That was too much food. Why
What does
did you
that feel
stop me, Tom?
Cause you see it, you're
What does that feel like?
You know I have no self-control.
What does it feel like to be full? I don't know what that feeling's like.
It's awful. Awful. Get it?
Oh.
Wow.
Boom.
That's good. That's an Adora quote right there. Yeah.
Awful.
Mhm,
Awful.
mhm.
Put it on the merch.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, hey, Vivian.
Oh, hey.
You're back.
I'm back.
What took you so long?
Delivering pastries.
Did you get a second job? Or?
No, Hugo's not been around for about like an hour, and I don't know, the orders were just piling up, so I figured I'd get them knocked out, but like, at least his dad and, Hit
Mm-hmm.
are looking for him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I guess that's something to keep an eye on for watch.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be kind of up to you and me first, probably.
Yeah.
Buckler. Here, I'm gonna take a picture.
What'd
you do with Buckler?
Set dog.
Set dog.
Set fucks.
Oh,
Oh, buddies.
When we go on break, we can take them.
Yeah.
Hi, you. Yeah, no, so I think, yeah, that's just something we all should kind of keep an ear out for. Like, I know he likes to do his side stuff, but, you know, sometimes it can get a little shifty, I'm sure.
Yeah.
These are some very questionable ingredients. Okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? From the floor.
What do you know?
For the moonshine.
Uh,
Yeah.
Moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole tavern. Why would? Okay.
It's cheaper.
it tastes disgusting.
It tastes strong.
Everything tastes disgusting.
You okay?
I ate too much.
She tried to keep up.
So basically, like, scissors on a plate.
I I mean, it's fair game. It's not like we're on a diet or anything.
Nice. Nice.
Maybe I should go on a diet.
You have nothing to lose.
But this is painful. It's painful, Tom.
Well, you can go sleep it off. I mean, we have first watch anyways.
That was a direct order.
Do you want it to be?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna, and then I like roll onto my belly, and then just like crawl.
I just grab her boots and just drag her. Come on!
Yeah.
And I just let myself be dragged by Tom.
That was a bit more flirty than I think you let on.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting some choices there, buddy.
Not trying to.
Doesn't mean you're
it
not.
was not intentional. I
sure?
promise you that. Sometimes it just happens.
So you say like a lying liar who lies.
It wasn't intentional. It just happened. It's fine. It's friends flirt too. I do.
I don't flirt with Adora.
Flirt with Tom.
Oh, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
I saw Mercy
Wait, where did you see Mercy?
at your house.
You went to my house?
I was delivering food. Your siblings all devoured donuts.
Oh, pastries before dinner.
Yeah.
Mama, those you guys pissed.
Yep, that was kind of what happened.
You didn't mention the...
No,
Okay, thank you.
it's not my house.
Oh, actually, probably would be better, maybe.
If I had told,
It's either I never see my family again and they just, like, never find out about this, or something or someone tell them. That's Yolanda and Cap.
No, yeah. There's a breach on the set. Breach! We just see a cat flying the frame. George. Okay. Well, the pets are demanding a break, which is perfect because we're right on time. So let's go ahead and take a break. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your pets. Hydrate. We'll be
your
back
water.
here momentarily. Yeah. Hey. Y'all ready?
yes.
All right, we are back from break. Uncia. Welcome back. So, after Vivian running some errands and y'all eating and drinking your fill by the fire in the Fate's End Tavern with some conversation, it is time for the Night's Watch. It's divided into two shifts. The first shift is Vivian and Armand, and y'all essentially have the first watch of the night, which would be sunset till midnight, and then midnight to sunrise is the second watch. So, and the second watch being Tom and Adora. So, first watch.
Let's go.
Go ahead and okay. So, setting the scene.
Yeah.
You both depart from the Fate's End Tavern out into the cold, bundled up, heading up onto the gates and you see Buckler there.
Everywhere.
Buckler is just a
everywhere.
Buckler.
Well, considering
Buckler.
He
Sorry.
wants the pizza.
I know, we should have moved the pizza out of the room.
Yeah. Should we restart?
No, yeah. Go ahead and somebody deal with the set pups and pizza. And the two of you, as you are traversing to the gate, you approach the gate, get up there. The two guards that were posted there come down the ladder, allowing you both to take the watch. And you get up there, and there's an open, kind of like grated fire pit, like a brazier there, with wood and like freshly chopped wood nearby. And there's some chairs, and you're just up there, kind of in one of the watchtowers, overlooking the gate and the road leading out into the wilderness and the roadways on the countryside. And you see the grove from within behind you. You both just kind of get posted up and get comfortable. It's going to be a rather chilly night. So, as long as you stay by the fire, there's not going to be like any checks or anything, you know. It is snowing a little bit, but it's kind of stopped at a moment. You just kind of see blankets of white everywhere, which kind of helps with the watch. You do notice that there's some moonlight kind of shining through. Kind of gives this, like, it adds to the visibility for sure, reflecting off of the snow. And yeah, I mean, you see some critters running around on the very outside, and you see some within, like, some squirrels and things just kind of, like, moving around. Birds flying, perching around, nesting. Yeah. Just kind of just the two of you at the moment. It's kind of nice and quiet and peaceful. You don't really see anyone, like, on the distant road heading towards the grove. You see those within the grove don't seem like they're going to be leaving, so be less of a door person, you know, just like constantly closing and opening the gate for traffic coming through, checking people, and, like, you know, making sure they're not, like, smuggling things in, or, you know, don't belong, or kind of look like they're up to some shady shenanigans. So
I pull out my beanie, and it's purple.
okay.
And it's got holes. No, it's got holes for my horns to fit through comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking cool.
I feel like I got like I have like my cloak on, but I feel like I also have like another like pelt of like fur like on. And as a big boy, I feel like I can handle cold a little bit more. But even I'm like just like, yeah, I don't like it. This is really fucking cold.
I like the snow. Just like to be able to go back in.
Snow when you're inside is fine. Snow when you're outside for a long time is bad.
Yeah.
When you went to my house, where like the two like little halflings, like my halfling siblings, like were they helping each other with snowballs?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's my
I was
favorite thing to do.
really trying not to get hit and drop the donuts, because that would have been the end of my life.
Yeah, Omar has a well, not Omar. Tomas has a bit of an arm.
Yeah.
Regina Jr. is a bitch when it comes to snowball fight, though.
There's a Regina Jr.
Yeah.
Oh man, you have a big family. Also, that house is massive. Is your family loaded or something?
Kinda. I mean, my Papa Jericho is a. But he deals in like underground potions and shit.
So scallywag.
I would say more of like a mafia boss.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's my mom hates it. But, and then Regina used to. Nope, but that's not for me to say.
What?
She used to run a house of women that made a lot of money. Stuff.
Baking?
Not baking. I mean, I guess they could have baked if the guys wanted them to bake, but no.
I'm missing.
She was a madam? Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Sure. If you're into that sort of thing. But you and Adora are friends again.
Yeah, we're just friends though. I promise you, she's not gonna want anything with it, and I
You're
not.
delusional.
I'm not.
You are so delusional.
You don't know what I did.
No, but I see how she looks at you and how she acts around you, and girl, she is gone.
I can't go there though.
And you're stupid.
For a while.
I pull out like a flask.
Yeah. Dorothy's thirsty work.
I'm gonna hand it to Vivian.
No, I think I'm good tonight.
You sure? I mean, it helps with the
Yeah.
cold, definitely.
No, I need to stay away from that stuff for a little bit. I thought I slept with Tom the other night. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't. Nothing happened. Supposedly I fell asleep on the roof, but I for sure thought I did. So, nope.
Oh, don't tell Adora that. She'd freak out.
I'm staying away from alcohol for a little bit.
That's wise. Wait, so that means that he did sleep with somebody?
Oh, I don't know. I was drunk. I just know it wasn't me.
Well, I mean, like earlier, he was bringing food to his room and then he came back out with it, so whoever was in the room was gone.
I mean, it's not that surprising.
Just makes you kind of curious. Like, why?
I mean, he can be charming.
Yeah. I mean, he's not so bad. He just needs to lay off every once in a while.
Yeah.
He didn't much.
I think we all do sometimes, but he's good-hearted. Makes up for anything else.
Wow, y'all looked at me real quick. That.
That was a
Don't
loud
mind
roll.
me. Don't mind me.
His dice were like.
No sneaky rolls for me, apparently.
20 rolls at once.
No. What you do notice as you're having this conversation is what looks like you actually see a few kind of spots kind of poke up out of the snow.
Come
You
on.
see, no,
Meerkats.
no, not meerkats, not kobolds. You see what look like some white hairs, just some rabbits that kind of pop up out of the snow and they kind of like skip around and sniff, and you see what looks like coming from the tree line is what looks like this fox in the furs kind of turned into that more stark white coloration to adapt to the colder climate of the season. She's kind of like crouched down at the edge of the tree line. You see its like eyes reflecting from the firelight in front of you, and you see it's just kind of like stalking one of the rabbits, kind of straying further and further out from the others. And you assume they might have like a burrow down beneath in the field nearby or something, but just nature doing its thing. Other than that,
Do you see anything else going on around us?
nope.
Any Hugo?
Any Hugo sightings?
Perception check.
Ooh, damn.
11.
10.
Yeah, you don't spot Hugo. You see some other people kind of going about the grove, but yeah, you don't see him or any traces of him. You don't see like any of the friend group really anywhere. It's a pretty quiet night, fairly uneventful. Yeah, so thankfully the weather is kind of clearing up. You can kind of see some stars like poking through the clouds. And
Do I need to make a con save because I'm drinking out of a flask?
are you drinking that much though?
No, just like sips at a time.
Yeah, okay, then I think you're good.
Okay.
Kind of like unless you're drinking copious amounts, I would not require a con save every drink. You know, unless you indicate like, yeah, I'm drinking. You know,
Nah, just keep warm.
just trying to push it. Okay. Yeah. Y'all some watch continue.
Speaking of people, why haven't you asked Mercy out yet?
Girl, I've been asking her out every day since I was 6. Not like, well, maybe not like in the past few years, but like, it's complicated.
Why not move on then?
Have you seen her?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more than just like how pretty she is. Like she's funny and down to earth and kind of herself, and she's been through like a lot of shit.
Have you told her that?
No, but you know, compared to her, I'm a fetus. She's not gonna take me seriously.
I mean, not with that attitude. If you're not honest, like, why? I mean, how are you gonna know?
Fair.
But who am I to
Yeah,
give
who are
a
you to
relationship
judge? Yeah, who are you
advice?
to judge? Mhm. Hot meat kettle.
I at least tried, and it was good for a while.
And then you gave up.
Situations changed, but it was real. It was something I put my heart into, and I don't regret it. It was a risk worth taking. You can either try or regret never.
She's also my mama's best friend.
That would actually be weird for me.
I mean, it's not weird for me. It's just like, even on like the off chance that she likes me, my mama would never allow it. Like, as much as she loves Mercy, and she does, she'd never let that happen.
Well, this got weird.
This got really weird. You sure you don't want some of the flask?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. Just checking.
I think so.
The remainder of your watch goes by uneventful. You spend the remaining hours just, either more conversation or just keeping to yourselves, keeping
I feel
vigilant.
like I goad you into like doing target practice for one of the rabbits against the fox.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. So, for this, are you like wagering, or are you
I'm just like,
trying to interfere with the hunt?
well, no, just like see who can get like a rabbit first, the fox or Vivian with the arrow. Be like,
Oh.
if you get one
okay.
first, I will do all your chores in the barracks for a month.
Down. Deal.
Okay.
You're gonna be busy
Alright.
for a month.
You see, like, the fox kind of, like, is prowled out, and it's, like, still crouched, but it's, like, kind of in the snow, and kind of, like, hops over, and, like, kind of, like, it's just working its way through the snow. And you see the rabbit's ears kind of perk up, it's, like, listening, and you see the other ones are kind of startled, too, and it's closing in, it kind of just stops, its eyes are really big and dilated in the snow, and, like, its whiskers kind of have snow at the end of it, and you see it fairly clearly, like, it's just out in the field from the tree line, so...
I draw my bow and I steady and watch until I find my moment and I release.
Okay. I will say this is a long-ranged attack, so you're going to have a disadvantage because it is outside of your normal range
Okay.
because it's so far. But what I will say is that you would get advantage from your height, so it's a straight roll. If you're on the wall.
Cool. 13 plus 18.
18?
Or plus 8, sorry. Whoa.
Damn!
We were like, whoa.
Math ain't math.
13,
13, 21.
21.
21. Yeah, you watch as like the fox kind of like goes down, and like gets close enough, and the rabbit kind of like hops off, and like you see it leaving footprints, and it's getting really close, and you're like waiting for that moment for where it's gonna pounce. And as the fox springs up into the air with like their kind of iconic kind of arched back hop down to pin the rabbit down, your arrow flies through the air and impacts the fox before making impact on the rabbit, and they both roll for a moment. He watches the rabbit just gets out from underneath it and just bolts through the snow, running off into the distance, and the fox just lays there. I'd say this was a longbow. Trying to like gauge a distance for disadvantage. I think it's beyond 120 feet.
It's 100 and...
Serves right?
So it goes to 150.
Oh, okay. 150, it's like, what, 400 feet for disadvantage or something like that? Like long range? Should have like a distance and then like slash.
600 feet.
600, yeah. So I'd say the fox was probably like 200 feet away from you when you made the shot. And yeah, you arc it and it catches the wind, and thankfully the weather isn't impacting it much, and it lies there, and you kind of see like a slight little pool of crimson where the fox got shot. It's just there in the distance. The other rabbits fucking scattered when that happened.
Damn.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Not me. Okay.
Dad taught me well.
Yeah, he did.
I miss him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I went and talked with your mom, actually, and they haven't seen him nor my mom for a while, and made me realize it's been a long time since I've seen them, too. They're always busy.
So can you, like, get in contact with them with like one of those stone thingies?
I mean, probably, but mostly my brother and I just use those, so. Well, my brother and I use he has that, like, telepathic. But, I don't know, they're always busy. I always feel like I'm bugging them, and even then, I don't need them to know how much I've screwed up, so. They usually hear it from everyone else before.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I don't know, I guess it's weird because my mom's are around all the time. Like, I can't really get rid of them, but this is the first time in a long time that my mama's been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. Like, not being able to talk to her is weird. And I can't really talk to Mom right now because of everything.
Might be good. I don't know. At least you have the option to. With one of them.
It's like you were. I don't want to disappoint him.
Why would you disappoint? That wasn't your fault. You fought valiantly.
I feel like we grew up very similar but opposite at the same time. Like your parents seem like the type that just let you roll with the punches, you take it as you go, and my parents are very much you plan, you prepare, you make sure that everything goes right so nothing goes wrong and shit went wrong. And
Well, if my parents taught me anything, it's adjusting learning to be flexible and adjust isn't always a bad thing. And life can be unexpected. And as much as you can prepare, not everything has happened.
Not necessarily like a path, it's just more of like you see the fork in the road before you come upon it, you know?
Sometimes there's bushes in the way.
Fucking bushes. What the fuck is the bush doing there?
Son of a bitch.
Full circle.
That's a throwback.
That is a throwback.
That's a throwback. Cool.
16 episodes later.
Mm-hmm. Who would have thought?
Way back.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, is there anything else you'd like to discuss on your watch?
No.
Uneventful. Cool. All right. Midnight comes around, and y'all start heading to swap out as you stir awake, and wake up calls from those you're bunking with in the barracks, or be it requested from your private dwellings, and equip. Put on some layers. Make sure you equip yourself with your gear and your weapons and whatnot, just in case, and go and swap off with Vivian and Armand as Tom and Akhenaton and Adora take the watch as the midnight comes.
Anything to note?
Not really.
The rabbits are out.
Vivian, killed a fox from very far.
She does that.
It was impressive.
Yeah.
I gotta do the chores for a month.
You bet.
It's gonna be
you
great.
Never bet against a Stormborn in an archery contest.
And we all had to learn that lesson.
Well, hopefully it's as peaceful as it was for us, so good luck.
Probably not. It's too fucking cold out here.
Wake us up.
Is he half? Is he normally half naked still?
Think about it, right? Both of his tight as right.
She takes off her beanie and pops it on his head.
Just to try to get his point straight.
Yeah.
Don't stretch it out.
You're gonna need to make a new beanie. He's got too big of a head for it.
Oh, God.
I imagine it's you're a satyr. I would say you're well insulated, with your natural fur.
From the waist
But,
down.
From the waist down, right. But I also could imagine almost this Mr. Tumness, how he's kind of a bit chilly in the colder weather, and stamping through
I'm also from
through the snow.
the summer court.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. As you are all making the trade-off, I'd like you all to make a perception check, please.
Oh, suck it.
That's actually shit.
Oof.
Nope.
Rolling like shit tonight.
Nope.
9.
12.
17.
8.
Eight.
That is a 17.
No, unfortunately, this is an active perception check. You have inspiration. You do.
Unless it's life or death.
Stacked up some heroic inspiration. What'd you get, Tom?
17.
17. So, Tom, you're the only one to notice this, but you notice a large section of the lake has begun to bubble up, and you notice water has begun to spill out onto the lake shore a bit, and you notice what looks like the flag on the top post of a ship begins to emerge up from the lake as a large bubble begins to emerge, and you notice a ship which you are not familiar with begins to float up to the surface as then the bubble kind of washes away the remaining water off of the sides. The ship is now on the surface, and you watch as it begins to kind of float up into the air. And you're watching this from the gate, and it's out kind of in the middle of the lake. So you're looking at this over over 500 feet away that you're wait, what is that?
I grab yours and...
Yeah.
Oh. What is that?
Yeah, and you will see this ship take up off into the air like very Neverland-esque
And we're
as this
still
ship.
here?
You're still there too, yeah. You see them both kind of look off in the distance, and you actually kind of notice it now as it kind of floats up, and you hear a distant yell, and then you hear this kind of like hum, and then you watch as the whole ship in like this bubble encases it, and you watch the ship vanishes in the midair.
Oh, that was a jammer.
Is that...
What?
Do we tell somebody?
Yeah, did we tell somebody?
Nah, we're fine.
I can let...
I don't think we're fine. That was kind of weird.
I'll let,
Let your grandma know.
yeah.
We know we have a ship, right?
None of you know about this.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like weird. Like there are ships that magically come and go with like portals and stuff from the lake, from like other dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Not a flying ship that's housed underwater. That's very magical, almost science fiction-y, weird.
Should we tell
I'm
someone?
gonna, I'll go
Tell your grandma. I'll go with you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Wonder what
yeah.
Grandma's been up to.
Yeah, just do your watch and keep out for anything else that looks like that.
Okay, I'll watch the lake. You watch the other side.
So it's like, position yourself behind the door as a windbreak.
Yeah. Okay.
And the fire and push out a push Roger flag.
With your purple beanie on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so y'all are taking over the watch.
Yep.
And then y'all...
Going to tell Grandma.
Oh, okay, so you're heading to the barracks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so y'all rush off to the barracks, and it is the middle of the night. So when you approach, things are kind of dark. You don't see anyone within. You see that her office is dark. There's no candlelight within. And don't see sight of her. So the only other place you can think that she could be is home. So she'd be at the Wildercrest Lodge.
Fuck. We gotta go to the house.
Why do you say fuck?
Cause I don't want to go back outside.
It'll be fine. Just I take off my pelt because even though I'll be cold, I'll probably handle it better than I'll put it on.
Okay.
We'll just move quickly.
Okay. Shuffle.
Yeah. And you shuffle. It's dark. You're shuffling along the roads in the snow. And eventually you kind of reach the lodge, this large wooden structure. You see covered in ivy and has antlers and bones and things out on the front. There's tanned skins outside and freshly chopped wood, and you see there's makeshift targets and garden beds that are raised up over the ground and
Wrong house.
Wrong house.
no.
It's never wrong.
These all just seem
It could have spread.
yeah.
The penis weeds.
Penis weeds of the Warriors Grove.
The council gets together and they're we have a serious problem.
It's an
It's an infestation.
I just imagine someone just
That's very Faye.
Council meeting and being always explain these. And it's just okay.
The penises. They're everywhere.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knock on the door and go in.
Okay. Yeah, you knock on the door and go in, and as you enter, you see that there is some candlelight. And within you see Alandor, your grandfather. He's currently reading a book, and he's just kind of sitting by the fire. You do not see Sylvanna anywhere.
Do you know where Grandma's at?
He just kind of looks up with some concern. He's she went on a hunt some hours ago. What's wrong?
There's a ship that just emerged from the lake and then went and floated up into the sky and then...
It came by bubble and then it disappeared.
Yeah, that.
He just blinks and looks at you both, very confused. He's I don't think ships do that.
This one did.
Uh-huh.
He closes his book and sets it down and gives you his undivided attention. He's like, okay. Is there anything else you can tell me about this vessel?
Just it came from the middle of the lake, like underneath it. Floated, and then whoop. Bye-bye.
Whoop.
Whoop. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
So, I've never seen anything like that, and if you've never seen anything like that, then
I've
it's
never
probably
heard of anything like that before.
it probably shouldn't be here. So,
But it left?
yeah.
So best not to worry about it then.
But what if it comes back, or what if there's more?
He just shrugs and looks at you both.
Well, we
You
did
gotta find your
just
grandma.
wanted to report it. Well, maybe he's right. We just wanted to at least report it.
He just nods and looks at you. And your passive insights can tell you, because he's not a good liar,
That he's
he
lying.
knows about what you're talking about, but it's not
Fucking
admitting
lying
it.
sack of shit.
And
My
you
passive
can
insight is 11.
infer based on his body language that, like, perhaps he himself was not allowed to talk about it. So he's kind of giving you, like, the UFO sighting treatment of, like, you think he's either seen it before or knows about it.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of, like, trying to brush it off like it's nothing. He's like, it's late, it's easy to see things, and I assume you both are tired and need your rest. Would you like some tea?
No. Thank
I was
you.
like,
We're gonna go now. Come on. And I take her by the head and
You need to work on your lying.
Oh.
Your nose is getting bigger.
what? My nose? What? He looks confused.
My grandpa.
This is nonsense. I've walked these woods.
So your grandpa is a
For
dirty
millennium.
liar who lies.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
I'm assuming Grandma knows about it too.
which means she's probably not lying.
Yeah, it's probably classified.
You hear footfalls coming down the road, and you see what looks like a group of actual hunting parties coming through one of the other gates on the other side of the grove, heading towards the lodge, and you actually see her, and you see she's currently pulling in a wagon, and it looks like they're taking off, like, fresh kills from the hunt towards the butchery. And she kind of, like, parts from that group, and she has her quiver and, like, bow over her shoulder, and you see fletching flying above the owl and just kind of, like, surveying the area, and perches on the rooftop of the lodge nearby, and just kind of, like, folds its wings in and looks around, and you see her approaching now.
You want to go tell her?
If your grandpa lied, I feel like your grandma would lie.
Mm-hmm.
Take a second. Pause. Come with me.
Okay.
Um,
You, like, approach, and you, like, intersect, and she's, like, walking up, and her hood's up, and, like, she could tell she's a bit cold, too. She's, like, kind of, like, red in the cheeks, and...
I walk
It's like-
right past her. I don't even, like, look at her.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Blow right by her. Yeah, and she just kind of, like, nods to you both as you pass by, and she kind of, like, continues home. You tell she looks kind of tired and worn out.
Very, as I'm, like, walking, I'm very softly to, like, we're gonna tell my mom.
oh shit. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just staring real hard at the lake.
I was gonna say, we cut back to y'all keeping watch.
Go!
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check for your watch.
30, 20.
Dirty 20 and
Okay.
Past that.
10. Okay. 10.
Too busy.
He's too cold.
Too cold. Too cold.
Cool.
I'm
I-
super alert. I'm super
You're
on
super
high
alert.
guard.
I don't know how, but, like, but you're kind of like, I have bet you got your breastplate on over all this
Yeah.
stuff. How about some frozen
He's just frozen in the back.
No. He's just.
I've got these chefs, you can.
Yeah. Yeah. while you're freezing and
The true
keeping
definition of uppies.
yeah, you're keeping keenly an eye on the lake and everything. In the distance, you kind of hear this faint sound on the wind, kind of just rides the wind and echoes in from the distance in the wilderness. It sounds like a wolf howl. You just kind of goes in the distance, and then you hear another one, and they just sound off, and you begin to hear this like very loud symphonic pack, and that's when you put it together. That's the pack, the group. That's the lycanthropes that are in the grove, and they're signaling that they just had a successful hunt. Tom, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh shit. 5. Oh, no.
Even though you're freezing, there's something innate about this. As you're kind of hearing this, you look around a bit confused, and you feel this pull to answer this call. And you, like, everything every fiber of your being wants to go out to who's calling out. You know who they are. Even in this moment, it's not, you don't even care who they are. There's just something more instinctual that's like driving you. You're like, your body's telling you to go down the ladder, get out of the tower, open the gate, and just take off sprinting. But you are still coherent enough that you're cold enough that you're still yourself, but you feel this intense instinct and impulse that you want to act on very badly.
He's still frozen in the back of the door, baby. Fucking hunt.
What are you mumbling back? I feel like a backpack. Like an angry backpack.
I am tired, I am cold, I am hungry. I want to go to bed.
Hungry, but you ate. You know what? We don't need to get into this. Just can you keep watch on your side?
Oh, shit!
I am doing my job. And there's howling going on out there. I think this is like a pack.
It's those that group of people, lycanthropes.
Oh, the lycanthrope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. But I'm still watching.
You take this job way too seriously.
Aren't we supposed to?
Yes and no. They're taking the job seriously. And like, way too seriously. You're over on the farthest end of that spectrum.
I don't know what you mean. And I go back to watching the... I just like flip around so that Tom like flips back. Like, his little like...
Yeah, and as you continue to keep watch, you watch as what looks like this shape begins to walk out of the tree line, kind of heading towards the gate. You see this tall, slender form kind of like stalk its way out, and you see what looks like kind of large branch-like appendages out of the head of this thing that's kind of like walking out, and kind of like take a moment and like really try to look in the distance, kind of squint your eyes, see what it is, and the wind kind of kicks up a bit, kind of that winter wind, and kind of kicks up some of the snow that's on the ground and like the snow banks that kind of drifts up over and past you all and kind of chills you further as you kind of get a cold front all of a sudden. And you see a large stag kind of like comes out into the clearing and just kind of like looks around. And you see kind of like sniffs the air and then just goes and like trots off.
Big sad.
Very big.
Where?
Honestly, the largest you've seen in a while.
Big stat over there. And I'm pointing, but like every time I point, he goes the opposite.
Yeah.
This way, and so I flip.
By the time you turn around and look, and you like squint and like try to look out in the distance, you catch a little bit of movement, but you unfortunately miss it.
You realize how many viewers there are here, right?
Do they make big stacks?
Have you met Brian?
Alright. I mean, besides the weird ship thing, it's been pretty quiet.
Hey. Oh gosh, can we go inside now?
Until shift is over, you know the rules.
You're like hours away from sunrise.
You're crying.
As you bang your horns against the back of my brother, you're wearing Vivian's beanie, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I can smell Vivian's beanie. And I'm like, why are you even wearing that?
She gave it to me, I'm cool. You're not jealous, are you?
Why would I be jealous? I'm waiting time.
I'm trying to figure out how to explain this the best way I can to you without getting thrown off this wall.
I think you should be very careful with what you say.
That's why I'm trying. That's why you're not hearing anything from me.
Out all night?
You two are acting like a book trope.
You went with book trope?
Yes.
We're not. We're just very old friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know more than anyone that she's my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, be very careful with what you say next.
After I'm not saying that.
Treading that line very closely.
You know I can use that line as a jump rope.
I imagine that continues for some time. It's the back and forth. You're both freezing.
We're just talking over my shoulder because he's attached to my back.
Cutting back to the two of you. Yeah, y'all. Where are y'all headed now?
A house.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. But yeah, you quickly, briskly walk your way through the cold and get to the doorstep, and like doors open, unlocked, and it's the middle of the night. Everyone you assume is in bed. House is quiet. Actually, go ahead and make perception checks for me.
Wait,
It's too quiet.
It's not too quiet.
So quiet. I'm
Quiet.
shit today.
I got a
10.
3.
3 and a 10.
Yeah.
It's as quiet as it's expected to be with everyone asleep. You don't notice anything out of the
I-
ordinary.
I go to the kitchen and like I go to the table and like
I'm sticking close up your ass.
and very soft, like loud but not too loud, like loud enough that I know that like if she's here, my mom was here. I do 2 knocks, then 4, then 3.
Okay. I assume this is some kind of like
It's like the secret knock,
a secret
the,
knock.
like
Yeah,
family
like
knock.
the family knock. And I imagine like it's where you're knocking, it reverberates up to her room. Yeah. So
Sleeper isn't engaged.
yeah. So you do this knock and you wait, and you instantly hear footfalls and like the creaking of floorboards, and then you hear footfalls above walking down the hallway to the stairs to come downstairs. While this is happening, with a 10, you do not hear this, but you see outside what looks like Hugo and Mercy and what looks like a backyard brewski fest of them sipping moonshine out by a fire. And you see other individuals that are out there who've kind of made camp, but you could tell that there's like a bunch of like, you know, down branches and random foliage that they've moved to kind of like create this like outdoor fort-esque
They're being
thing.
rebels.
Yeah.
They're being
Oh
rebels.
yeah.
I am
Yeah.
missing
For
this.
sure. Yeah.
Another reason why.
But you kind of spot that out the window, and they have no idea what's going on in the house. Like they think everyone else is asleep, but they're just kind of like not in the backyard, but like beyond it enough that kind of catch it out of the corner of your eye.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
When Armand points it out, you see off in the distance, kind of like that slight
Isn't that
little. It looks
Hugo?
like a candlelight at this distance, but it's a campfire.
Found him.
At least he's alive.
Yeah.
Better keep his hands to himself, asshole.
You see, eventually, Yolanda comes walking down the steps. You see her hair's kind of pulled up, very curly, kind of like bedhead, and she's like wearing her robes and like kind of like ties her robes
duck
close and
behind
like looks. And
Armand.
she's like, what's going on? What? It looks at you, and you just see like she stops speaking.
You still ozone?
Her mind is going, but she just stops, that kind of dead in her tracks when she sees you, and looks at the both of you. Just she does not say anything, but she is speaking volumes right now with her reactions.
Hola, ma.
What happened?
I wanted to be like Mama, and I took it too far.
I need more than that.
There was unexpected complications with Kamlak's rescue, and we weren't as prepared as we should have been.
Did they not offer you to? This can be healed. You can be seen for this.
I was.
She just raises her brow, looks very confused. And you rejected this offer? You see she kind of like steps back and is like taken aback a bit. And she's like, you really look like her a lot right now.
I know.
But just because we push you hard doesn't mean you have to be a carbon copy of us.
That's not.
Of her.
That's not what this is. And I'm kind of like very jokey or sassy, but I'm very serious right now.
Yeah.
Like, I was very ill prepared, and a lot of people got hurt, and I don't want the opportunity to forget that.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, fuck.
Persuasion?
Do you need new dice?
Yeah. I'm gonna use my first inspiration because
Okay, first inspiration. Okay.
I'm gonna check this one first.
Inspiration. Let me note that.
10.
Okay.
On an inspiration?
On an inspiration.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Rip you.
Gay dice.
You got gay dice?
You want gay dice?
I should actually be using the Armand dice.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Here's your problem. Use the wrong gun.
Esteban.
You said you're on a 10.
I got 10.
You see she just kind of like looks and nods. She's like, I suppose you're old enough to make your own decisions on the matter. However, I will say, when your mother returns, you will be the one to explain this. And I'm not okay with it. Your mother and I worked very hard to give you the beautiful eyes that you have. And now that you have broken the set, she's going to be devastated. There's nothing wrong with it, and there was no reason to just not get it back when we have such abilities to do that.
Oh, you know.
It does look. It's she kind of like backtracks a bit. She's like, it's cool. I will say, as much as it upsets me, it does fit you.
Gracias, Mama.
I understand the importance and the symbolism that you're giving it, and I will respect that. But if you lose your other eye, you're gonna wish you could see me coming. You kind of see her hair kind of like that static.
Yep, but I duck again.
Yep, I smell
And she
ozone.
looks back at you now, and she's like, so, Armand lost an eye. Anything else happen?
On watch just now, there was a ship that bubbled up from the water, floated into the sky, and poofed off.
Yeah, that's actually why we're here.
Have you seen anything like that?
Okay. She's like, fuck. You weren't supposed to see that. If anyone asks, you didn't see that.
What?
And if you bring it up again, we're going to have to make an appointment with Locke and have your memories altered. This is a guild secret. We do have a arcane vessel or transport that can do that. You're not crazy. Have you told anyone else about this?
My grandpa.
Who was a horrible liar.
Yeah.
Right.
No one else.
Don't bring it up again.
Adora and Tom saw it too.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck.
they know.
Okay.
Please don't touch my brain.
I'm not going to touch your brain. Locke would cast a spell on you.
Yeah, don't do that.
You would just forget about it.
I like
And then there's no risk of you spreading guild secrets.
We won't say anything.
We won't say anything.
Make persuasion checks to both of you.
Easily fine. You're in trouble.
Yes!
I was wrong.
Finally!
19!
Hey!
13.
13. Looks at the two of you. It's like, if I hear anyone has found out.
We don't even know what it is, so
Just
It's called a spell jammer.
I don't need to know that.
I'm going to tell you so you can understand the severity of what it is you're dealing with.
I immediately sit at the table.
There are very few on this plane that know about these vehicles. They are just like the ships that sail on the open waters. They have the arcane ability to take to the skies and into the stars. We have one of these vessels here in the grove, and it is held in the lake. That is why there's a certain section of the lake that is not allowed for visitors or families to swim in.
Oh.
The ones your siblings, if you remember correctly, wanted to go play in deeper waters and got themselves into trouble. You remember when I grounded them for 2 full moons?
Yeah.
They stumbled upon it and got in very big trouble. And their minds had to be, their memories needed to be altered, and they forgot what happened.
Yeah.
I
thought
don't
they
want
hit their
that.
head.
That was the story we had to sow to keep the secret. Because if knowledge like this got out to the major populace of the plains, people would begin to ask questions, get intrusive, make rules, try to permit people who come from beyond this land, from the stars, from coming here and working with us. They're trusted allies of the guild. Some of them you know and have worked with and fought with and joked and beside. The crew is also a kept secret, but they are among us. This is a unique. It's something unique that the guild uses as a resource. We have allies that we make and things to trade from here that is, held precious in the vastness of the stars. And she goes and walks over to the window, points to the moon, and is like, we regularly receive shipments from the Tears of Saloon, and points up at the moon and the belt of you see the stars and asteroid belt that encircles the moon. And she's like, as wild as it is to say, they're not just distant lights. There are cities out there. There are planes in the vastness of space. It's a bit much to wrap your head around, but you are not to talk to anyone about this other than the 4 of you. I trust you'll keep this secret, and if you don't, we're going to see Locke in the tower, and Locke will cast a simple spell, and you will forget we ever had this conversation, and you will forget what you saw.
Got it.
Thank you for being honest.
Thank you for reporting it. I'm going to have a talk with the captain and ensure the next time they depart that their invisibility is active when they depart, which is what they should have been doing. She just kind of like gives like a sigh of like frustration, but looks to you like, anything else that I need to worry about before I try to go back to sleep before your siblings wake up?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you know that group of like teenagers?
Mm-hmm.
They were a little rowdy today. That's all.
Rowdy how?
Just loud, obnoxious, but otherwise normal.
Noted. They help protect the grove. They keep the surrounding wilderness tame with their wild nature. They're a rowdy bunch.
Yeah.
I could do with the less howling in the wee hours, but it's their nature. Who am I to rain on their parade? She just kind of like looks back at you both with a smile, and she just like yawns. Well, I'm going to retire and go back to bed.
Yeah. Get up.
We should tell them, the others.
Yeah.
And then go to bed.
You like hear from upstairs. Mama! And she's just like, goodbye. Be safe. Get some sleep. And she runs upstairs.
I like was like reaching to go for a hug and then like kind of disappointed.
You sit there in disappointment, and then she doubles back, gives you a hug, and then runs upstairs as you hear another "Mama!" Just like, I'm coming! I'm coming! And then you hear a few doors open. He's like, what's going on? And you see like everyone starting to wake up, and it's like the middle of the night.
We should go see, I gotta go tell Hugo. People are looking for him.
Oh yeah, okay. Just sneak up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you like head out the back door and like trudge through the snow, and you can hear the laughter in the distance. Yeah, you see Hugo, dwarf, kind of like stubby facial hair. He's sitting there just drinking. They're drinking out of like jars. And you see they're all sitting around the campfire. Mercy's there and a few others.
She throws a snowball at him.
Mm-hmm. Just pelts him, and he like turns around. He's like, hey! And like looks around. You see he's like wobbly. And just the rock he's sitting on. He's like, oh, hey! What's up, guys?
Your dad and Pip have been looking for you. I did your deliveries. You're welcome.
Oh.
Someone's been slacking.
Slacking? No. And you see he like reaches down. He's like, I've been busy. You see like the liquid within, like the moonshine.
Can I see that?
Like, yeah, and like gives it to you.
Toss it.
It's like, no! You toss it and it disappears. You think maybe impacts a tree or some snow. You don't know. It's off in the distance. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro, I wouldn't even have done that.
I was offering you some, not to. You know how long it took to cultivate that?
Yeah, do your job, and then next time I won't have to do that.
Ugh. You sound like my mom. Come on. Loosen up. Have a drink.
Oh yeah? And what would my mom feel like if she knew you were doing this out here?
We don't need to find out,
Exactly.
right? We got an agreement, right? We ain't gonna snitch.
Hey, I'm just warning you, your dad's looking for you, and...
I appreciate that. I know Pops is looking for me, but I got my priorities straight. The deliveries, you didn't have to do that. You could have done it.
piling up, bro.
What? He's gonna walk. He's gonna walk around the grove a little bit. It'll do him some good to get out of the bakery. He spends his whole days in there.
And if he finds this on his walk...
What?
Okay,
Fine.
because
What? And you see like...
I like walk up and I like grab him by the collar and I lift him.
Mm-hmm. He's like, whoa. Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
11.
11. He like looks and he's like, and you like lift him up a bit, but you know he's a stouter, more built. You know, he's dense. Yeah, you like lift him up, and he's like his feet are kicking in the snow, but like he's not quite fully on the ground. He's just like, hey, whoa, and you're like holding him up. You see everyone else at the campfire just looking. You see Mercy's there, like just sipping, watching everything happen.
I'm not even like really paying attention.
Yeah.
For like the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Maturity.
Respect your parents and do your job, everyone.
Make the intimidation check.
Do I get advantage because if I'm even missing eye?
No. Oh, because it was talked about in a previous episode, and it was a factor in your intimidation checks, but doesn't give them advantage.
I mean, I say,
Gotcha.
you're lifting the poor guy
It
up
would
by...
be, but what you said was it would be taken into account.
Do you want
Right.
a different one?
No, I got it.
That one will
If memory serves correct, I think it affects their like DC or whatever.
Yeah,
It's a skill challenge.
Holy.
Do I get advantage? Just come on. 14.
14. Kind of looks. He's like, okay. Good. You let me go.
I'm good. And then I put it down.
And sets him down. He's like, dusts himself off like snow and stuff. He looks like, what are all you doing up right now?
Watch.
Watching
Part-
what?
That's part of
Us?
the Ash Guard.
No.
Oh fuck! Scatter! You see everything. You see them. He starts running. You see Mercy instantly starts laughing. You see some of the others are like confused. Like some of them kind of stay and like keep drinking, and you see others like fucking dip. Some of the youngers who like are trying to be cool and hang out, and, like trying to get a sip, and are like they fucking just start running in every direction, tripping in the snow, falling on their faces. You see Hugo kind of like running off, like trips over a root of one of the trees and like face plants into the snow and like gets up and like keeps running.
That's fun.
Alright, let's go.
Right. I look over to Mercy like really quick.
Mm.
And I like, before I lose my nerve, I walk over to her because I'm assuming she's sitting.
Yeah, she's sitting on like a log that was moved over towards the fire.
And before I lose my nerve, I like go over and like bend over and kiss her on the forehead and go like, I'll see you later, and then I walk away.
Yeah, you do so, and you see there's like she's like mid sip, and like you kiss her on the forehead, she like starts choking on the dwarven moonshine, and like is kind of like for the first time that you've ever seen her, kind of awestruck for a moment, and is very confused. And for a Winter Eladrin, you kind of see her face kind of blush a bit, and she's been drinking, but like also, you know, reaction from this, and like looks back. Wait, what was the last thing you said to her?
I'll see you later.
She like turns around as you're running, like you're kind of like walking off with Vivian. He's like, "Yeah, you will." And, like sits back down, like looks confused. You see some of the others. You see someone like nudges her elbow. And she's like, "Fuck, stop that."
I'm beat. Right? I can't believe I just did that. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay.
Hey, George, you see that little puff of like steam? What's that?
Yeah.
Was that cool? Was that...
So cool.
Are you lying?
No.
She's lying. Inside check.
Okay.
Oh my god. 17.
Yeah, you beat me.
Am I lying? Really?
Yeah, she's fucking lying.
Oh, you fucking liar. God damn it, that was lame. Fuck.
She was impressed, though. Yeah, there.
Okay. Cutscene.
Yeah. We're gonna move back to y'all on the wall, keeping watch. Let's see here.
Ooh.
So, as you are keeping watch, Adora, your vision of the snowscape, looking over the wilderness and everything, kind of goes. The cold brings this fuzziness, like almost like a sudden intoxication, as like your vision gets blurry. You're like staring off into space, just kind of disassociating, and like you're just there. When Tom's nearby and the wind, like you feel it all. And there's just this surge and shift. And you see walls beyond the tree line, and your vision is moving further than it should. It's kind of like, I guess a way to explain is like, you know, Tolkien elves see further than other species. Like they can see like the curvature.
Yeah.
Like they can see beyond the horizon, right? Your vision is going beyond the wilderness, and you are in an unfamiliar landscape, and you actually see what looks like statues. No, they're not statues, they're humanoids. You see what looks like they're hunched in different positions. You see their silhouettes projected on stone walls, and you see the stone walls are melting like chocolate, like they're just dripping. And they're like bubbling, almost like they've been like liquefied. And you hear this rattling of chains. It just sounds like chains that are shaking. And it's like footfalls, like something is holding or wearing chains. It's this just perpetual shaking with steps. And there's this faint blue light, and you are like honing in on that. Everything else is kind of just blurry and out of perspective. And you feel this flame, and it's intense, but it's almost like it's dying, and you can't help but feel bad for it. And you notice that as the wind blows around the walls of this fortress, that the silhouettes of the people get caught in this cold wind and are literally taken away into tiny flakes of dust and ash as they're caught. It's like very Pompeii, like just dystopian annihilation on mass scale. And you hear these chains, and you see as these bodies and like of these humanoids drift away, it creates this clearing in this courtyard, and you see a hooded individual, and you just see this large cage that they're holding, like a large lantern that's swaying with that blue flame within. And as they're walking towards these gates, this archway, you just watch as the stone liquefies like melting chocolate and just kind of slumps over. As they walk under the archway, it just folds behind them, and they keep walking as the doors and the wood go scorched, like it's impacted by fire, and the wood just begins to turn to charcoal and break away as the metal facets on the door clatter to the ground, and this individual just walks in. And you are losing sight of it, and you kind of feel yourself pulling out of it, and you don't know if you're daydreaming, if you're drugged, you don't understand what's going on, but you remember this feeling when you went into the pyre, and you kind of, it all kind of like rushes out like an exhale, and you see your breath in front of you, and you're on the wall, and you feel tongue at your back clanging and shaking, and you kind of take a moment, and you're back on the wall keeping watch.
Tom,
Yeah?
do you know the vision I told you about?
Which one?
The one with the phoenix feather.
Yeah?
I think something really bad is going to happen.
Oh, of course it is. It's our watch, and those two have the easy one.
I don't know if it... Right now, I'm talking on a large scale. And then, like, I'll go into describing for him, while he's on my back, the vision that I just had.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the details and the flame and all of that.
Melted chocolate?
They were just melting, okay? I couldn't think of other things that melted.
Candle?
Candle would have worked.
Okay.
Candle would have worked.
There was a bakery earlier. Okay, that's what was on my mind.
Okay, the point is that it was melting stone.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, and it's not the first time I've seen it.
So, get your parents?
We're gonna have to.
Oh boy.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Tune in next time to keep up with the D&D shenanigans.
We're
Holy shit.
Bye.
GG. Thank you all for watching.
Thanks.
Till next time.
Bye.
All right. Good stuff, y'all.
Beautifulness. Jesus.
Holy shit!